Brent Musburger joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show, calling the Sugar Bowl on January 2nd between Oklahoma and Auburn. And you mentioned windows of opportunity, or windows in general. You've got Leonard Fornette and Christian McCaffrey individually making their windows shorter by saying, I want to tap out. I don't want to play in my bowl game for fear of they're saying they're getting ready for the pros, preparing, but we all understand they don't want to get hurt like, say, Jalen Smith did last year. What do you think of these players exercising their option to do this, Brent?
Rich, I think it's an individual decision. I don't think it's going to set a trend. A lot of guys are going to decide to play, especially if you're in the Final Four. I can't imagine anybody backing away from winning a championship. And I think in both these cases, Leonard Fornette, I was around quite a bit this year, by the way, at LSU. And I sort of, and I don't mean this in a demeaning fashion, but I honestly thought he checked out a little bit early anyway. I thought he was worried a little bit about the draft and the NFL and his future. He had come out to warm up before the rescheduled Florida game, I remember, and it looked like he wasn't going to play at all. And then we had a little pre-game scuffle, and he got into it, exchanged words with one of the coaches of the Gators. And suddenly he came out of the tunnel in his uniform, and he did not play very well, I might add. So I really thought that he was already thinking about the NFL. And Christian McCaffrey's case, a year ago in the Rose Bowl game we covered, he was just spectacular. And I thought when I left, because his dad was such a good receiver and his mom had been a terrific soccer player, and his granddad was one of the fastest humans in the world when Syme was winning medals, and I think a silver medal over in Rome in the 100 meters. But at any rate, he's been hurt this year for Stanford, and so I can understand that. Listen, these guys, the one thing when you go to college, I remember I was asked once by a coach, he said, "Brent, why'd you go to college?" And, of course, I gave him the cliche, "To get an education," I said. He said, "No, you didn't." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You went to get a job." And I stopped, and I said, on second thought, you're right. And McCaffrey and Fornette, they're looking to get a job. That's their future, and if they think it's to their benefit, they've both proven a lot. In Fournette's case, I'm almost sure he's a first-rounder. McCaffrey probably down low in the first round. Such a great playmaker, and he's got really good speed, good hands. Could be a good slot man in the NFL. So I don't blame them. I think it's an individual decision, and I don't want to get up on my high horse. And if that's what they decide to do, that's fine. We'll break in young running backs at both Stanford and LSU and go from there.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.